Welcome to Him, You, and Her Too, the show where we encourage healthy and equitable relationships. The premise of this show is to help increase male understanding and increase the number of couples and relationships that are healthy. Thank you all for tuning in. We look forward to entertaining you in the future. Our show is produced by Mac Justice Entertainment, the Identity Project, and co-produced by the Angels of Justice. Angels of Justice are a group of ladies who sell and endorse products to help increase female and male relationships, female safety, and health. One of the major products that they will be selling is this protective device. It's a pen and a flashlight. It's also a weapon. Just a little tidbit. Angels of Justice promotes women's health and safety. There will be classes offered in the future. But just a little bit about Him, You, and Her Too to start off with. Him, You, and Her Too is an acronym. That acronym stands for Helping Increase Male Understanding and Healthy and Equitable Relationships Too. The purpose of this is to discuss relationship topics that help increase healthy and equitable relationships and relationships between men and women. So we want to start off the show with saying we don't own the rights to this music. That song was by Dice Gamble, and it's called Gamble on Love. The major reason we chose that song is because we're here in wonderful Las Vegas, Nevada, where the whole purpose for coming to Vegas is the entertainment, which is somewhat shut down right now because of the pandemic, but also gambling. And what do people gamble on the most? They gamble on love, gamble on relationships. We gamble on improving our lives. And so we just wanted to touch on that topic. We thought it was a great topic to cover while we're here in Las Vegas, Nevada, going live. Let me also send a shout out to a couple of people. Boss Entertainment, which is one of our collaborators, and Mona Lisa's Lyrics. In the future, we will be producing a lot of material, hopefully next October for Sweetest Day. We'll be doing a singles and couples gathering, and I'm looking very excited for that opportunity to work with Mona Lisa's Lyrics and Boss Entertainment. Another shout out to Mona Lisa Lyrics and Boss Entertainment is for the Mompreneurs and Executive Kings function coming in March. I'm also at Mac Justice Entertainment is also a sponsor of that. We're sponsoring Nefertiti and Larry Hurst. Larry Hurst of Larry's Cafe and Nefertiti, who published the book. I'll put up more information about her book. Very spirited young lady. Very spirited young lady. You have to read her book. She has a female mentoring component, and you have to check her out. Very spirited young lady. I'm looking forward to working with the both of them. Once again, Him, You, and Her Too, helping increase male understanding and healthy and equitable relationships too. So I want to start off the show with a reading from the good book, the good word about love. I'm going to ask for the help of our producer. We have some technical difficulties, so we're not able to do a few things remotely. I don't have my full production team of Justin Acuff, Tech Extraordinaire, Daryl Page, IT Extraordinaire, and Kim Nath, my lovely, beautiful, wonderful co-host in the future. So we're going to do some things kind of organically, and which is the best way sometimes. So Angela, if you'll take us, our producer Angela will take us to our reading, if you will. And our reading is from where, Angela?
The reading today is from 1 Corinthians 13, chapter of verse 4 and 5. And it is, love is patient, love is kind, it does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud, it does not dishonor others, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered, it keeps no record of wrongs. And that's from the New International Version.
So the question today is, should you gamble on love? So ladies, I want to say this. You control access to most of the relationship, but it's the man who justifies the relationship. So through this scripture, I'm suggesting that ladies evaluate the man through this scripture. So some of the key points was, should not anger swiftly, should not boast. What else did it say, dear? What did it say, Anthony? What were some of the other key points? Boast, anger, and it was one more.
Is not proud.
Is not proud. So a man should not have too much pride to show his affection, admiration, or interest in you. Now, on the other hand, to help increase male understanding and the roles of the male and the female in the relationship, the man is taking the majority of the gamble, ladies, so you should also show interest, okay? Because you control access to the initiation of courtship, of interest, of dating. But the man controls access to the relationship portion of it. So let me help you understand the relationship portion of it, where it moves to the next level, where it's moved past dating. There's a great distinction between dating and a relationship. Okay? So a lot of people in this hookup economy, this hookup culture, assume that we're in a relationship when we exchange numbers. I gotta tell you, that is a little bit crazy. Just a little bit now. We're not in a relationship until the man offers that, until the man just asks a question, and you consent. The man controls access to the relationship, ladies. And that's why right now that lack of understanding has decreased two things in our society, in our culture. The major thing that has decreased is the number of women who are married in our culture. Only 1 in 4 African American women who are ready and available for marriage, or believe they are ready and available for marriage, are currently married. That is only 25% of people who want to be married that are. Now, I know what you're going to say. You're going to say the men aren't available. The men aren't accessible. But when you look at the marriage rate of men who are ready and available, 80-something% of them are marrying women who are in their culture. Now, those numbers contradict what we see in the media, on television, and in gossip circles all over. So, to help increase male understanding and healthy and equitable relationships, I want to say one thing. And I'm going to lean in a little close to say this. Stop watching television and making it the basis of all your research, of all your understanding of the opposite sex. Now, I know some of you have some experience. I know some of you have some experience that almost justifies what you hear on television. But let me say this. In order to move forward, in order to move into a healing state of relationships and a healing state for our culture, and to continue our population, which is decreasing, and raise healthy, equitable children, we have to come to a better relationship standpoint with the opposite sex. And part of that is moving forward and allowing your past not to dictate your future. We can't allow our past to dictate our future and our future relationships, because that is damaging our relationships. Okay, you've been hurt. Hey, I've been hurt too. I've been tricked. I've been fooled. I've been stalked. I've been through it. So I'm speaking to my qualifications to speak on the topic. And to add to those qualifications, I am a life coach and a counselor in training. So when I say these things, I'm speaking from experience and a theoretical perspective. Go get some counseling, some therapy from a certified and reliable source to help you through your past so that your future can be more bright. So, speaking on a bright future, our relationships, our ability to reproduce, and our ability to have a good time in our relationships is dictated by our ability to move forward. So speaking of having a good time during relationships, we're here now in Las Vegas, Nevada, having a good time as a couple, as a married couple. I am married, happily married, 10 years. Looking forward to 10, 20, 30 more if God allows it. And so we're here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Lots of couples here. An unprecedented amount of people, couples, married and unmarried here. This isn't just about married people. It's about single people. Because in order to be married, you have to be happy single. You have to move into a happy state of being single. Scripture and verse even talks about being blessed. I believe it was Paul that said he was blessed with being single. He was blessed with being single. There is some work to marriage. There's some work to a relationship. But there's also some reward. There's also a lot of reward. You know, there's a lot of people talking about the state of African American women not being happy, not being in equitable relationships, not being happy. Some are saying, hey, buy a dog and die alone. And I support some of the things they say, but I don't support their standpoint. So part of this show is we'll be talking about how our culture, how our state of mind, how our faith, and how our activities help encourage and produce healthy, equitable relationships. Now, is a relationship only marriage? No. A relationship is how two people relate to one another. And we need to treat each other better in this society today. We have enough things treating us bad, enough systems treating us bad as a whole. So I just wanted to come on for a little while today and talk about a few things. I think I've covered most of them. How are we looking on time here?
We're looking good on time.
We're looking good on time. So let me see, is there something else I'd like to cover? Okay, let's talk about the gamble. Let's talk about the gamble in relationships for a little while. Okay, we're both gambling when we come into this relationship, ladies and gentlemen. The lady, a precious jewel in our society, a precious jewel in our society, is offering her gems. The purpose, I'm an originalist, the purpose, I have to go back to the original purpose of man and woman. Man's purpose was to have a strong relationship with his creator and to take care of the planet. The woman's purpose was to help take care of the man and give him companionship. Let's look back at what the first man heard the Bible said. Now, if you believe in another faith, I'm very eclectic. I've studied in Thailand, studied Buddhism. I've studied Christianity and studied Muslim faith in America. But let's take this one principle. The whole purpose of being on this planet was to love one another and take care of the planet. Okay? The woman was created to be a helpmate or helpmeet. So when the man is dating you and starts moving into relationship status, what he's really saying is, help me help you help me. A little complicated, but very simple. Help me. Help me with my goal and my mission in this life. And I'll help you. But help me move forward with us. So the first thing is a man has to have a plan that includes you. That's the first indication that you are actually moving into a relationship. He has a plan that includes you. Now, it has to include and be equitable. So the definition of equity: fair, fair in compensation. It can't be a plan that's not measurable. A man, a real man, has a measurable and obtainable plan. Make sure his plan for himself is measurable and obtainable, and before you become involved in it, that is equitable for you. That's very important. See a lot and hear of a lot. I've advised a lot of women and men, and I see a lot of men and women investing in other people before they invest in themselves. So help me, help you, help me should be the basic premise of financial and physical support in a relationship. That's just a word of protection and a word of the wise. Okay. The second thing is the man has to be willing to give you time and be focused on you. Okay. Willing and focused. So, this is an example. I want to tell you guys a little story. Just a personal story, just a little personal anecdote for a moment. I decided that I was ready to be married prior to meeting my wife. Through a little luck and prayer, I met my wife. And I had that Adam experience. I got to tell y'all, I had that Adam experience. I'm going to say it one more time. I had that Adam experience. When my wife walked in, I said, whoa, man. Whoa, man. Because she's a beautiful woman. Now, as I investigated, found out she was a wonderful lady. So, gentlemen, I know some people are fun and exciting, and ladies listen to this too, but being a lady is some work and some reward, a lot of reward. You must attach your name and your finance to someone who is going to respect it. So men, you're gambling on love. Ladies, you're working for love and respect. Men, your reward is with respect. In the scripture it says, a man love a woman, and a woman respect the man. And respect is in a greater, higher esteem. Respect is wisdom, respect is strength, and hey, respect is weaknesses. Respect is weaknesses. And that's where the help me, help you, help me comes in the most. Men try to find a woman who enhances your weakness, who motivates you, who covers you. You need to take on some fun dates. Let her know who you are and what you stand for. So she's willing to help you, help her, help you. So I'm going to wrap it up there. I could have covered a lot more, but I feel pretty fulfilled. I hope that was enlightening and helpful. I want to thank you and thank God for this time we had together. I'm getting ready to get out here and have a wonderful dinner with my wife. Um, there's some things I want to say about dating, about mutual respect during dating, that I guess I'll touch on the upcoming episode. Hey, what is our next episode kind of about?
Next episode is going to talk about who should you love.
Who should you love? Our next episode in March talks about who should you love. Who should you love? Very important topic. We'll announce later the popular song in question to contemplate on as we discuss this topic next time. You can look forward to our show coming back. When will that be, dear? I like to pick holidays. A little history on Valentine's Day before I go. Valentine's Day, the mysteries and truths of Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day was about Saint Valentine. Now, there were 3 Saint Valentines. One was beheaded, and I believe he was beheaded. Well, let me cover the one I do remember. One was, would you look that up for me, dear? Again, so we can touch on that. Well, one was in prison, and he fell in love with his prisoner's daughter while he was in prison. And what he did, that is traditionally done now, is he signed a love letter that stated, "From your Valentine." Saint Valentine. And recently it got converted to say Valentine. So his expression of love while he was in prison to this woman was to sign a letter saying, "From your Valentine," or "To my Valentine" is what we now use the most. Then did you find it, dear? There was another Saint Valentine that was beheaded. Oh, I remember now. I can't remember the emperor or the Caesar. It was either Roman or something like that. You can look it up yourself.
Emperor Claudius II.
Emperor Claudius II. I think he beheaded 2 of them.
Yeah, he decided about the single men making better soldiers.
Oh, so his Claudius II, his philosophy on war was that single men made better soldiers. So, in reflection of that, he decided to make it illegal to marry. I want you to think about that. Think about the current implications that may have. He decided that it was illegal to be married so that he can become a conqueror. Okay? Now I want you to think about all the other ways that marriage is discouraged in our society today while I talk about this. So, Claudius decided it was illegal to be married, and Saint Valentine, or Valentine, continued secretly to marry men and women. Okay? He had him beheaded because of that. Now, beheading is a little illegal now and may not happen in our day and age in modern Western civilization. It may happen in some other areas. But let's think about all the ways that certain other aspects are becoming legalized to discourage it. Now, got a really close friend, and shout out to him. He helped me understand something about the catches of legal marriage in Western civilization, and I have to agree with him. There are some catches. They make money off of us through divorce and encouraging divorce and all these other things. So, if you're not going to be married and you're going to be in a loving relationship, because love to me is about, and I can speak of an example, but I won't at this time. I want you to think of this. If you love someone, and you have a life plan with this person, and you both are investing in each other, but you're not married, and they die or they're killed, what happens to your investment? What happens to your investment? What happens to your finances that you invested into a relationship? What is your reward? Love is about taking care of the person you love even after you're gone. I'm a firm believer in that. So my friend suggested one thing to you single people out there who love your person, your loved one, your significant other, your mate, your baby mama. Make a contract to make sure they're taken care of. It's a legal way for those who don't believe in marriage, because I'm giving you advice that suits you, not that suits me. Make a contract, a legal binding contract to take care of those you love. Your children were born out of wedlock. You don't want them ending up in probate. You don't want them being short in the estate taking part of their life. But those of you who do believe in marriage, take out insurance policy and make sure your loved ones are taken care of when you're gone. You're going to have financial investments. All right, so I got to wrap up. I hope that was healthy, equitable, and helped you with your relationships. Smack Justice, a.k.a. Mr. Savoy Fair, your counselor in training, your life coach. If you'd like to book a private session with us, our email address is identityprojectdetroit@yahoo.com. We're based out of Detroit metropolitan area. We do travel, and with today's technology, we will be doing online life coaching and relationship coaching. Once again, that's IDENTITY not K, I'm sorry, CT Project, Detroit, DETROIT @yahoo.com. Identity Project Detroit @yahoo.com. You guys have a blessed, safe, loving, and prosperous Valentine and New Year. Love you. Spread it around. Bye-bye.